What's up, everybody? Check it out. I am Justin Tuminowski. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Deal Sauce Live on my YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on Facebook, Instagram, thank you, YouTube. So guys, Deal Sauce is here. We are striving to bring more and more. So we have some really cool content coming. I think there's a webinar coming on Tuesday, just so you get all the announcements out of the way, let you guys know what's going down. So pretty awesome stuff. I would say hang out in the comments. You guys want to do some deals. You want to look at some opportunities. You want to look at lists, areas, get questions, please throw them in the side chat. And if not, you're watching this in the future, make a comment in the video and I'll try to see it. Or Shell, who's probably on, I can see her on this backstage. She's watching as well. And she will also help facilitate some questions. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. And hey, we have some really good updates coming, like I said. So Tuesday, the 10th. So next week, we are doing a webinar. Now, I don't have all the logistics because it's not my job on that end. It's going to be, you know, the folks behind Deal Sauce, they're actually going to be putting out the links and doing all the advertisements for that. But they want to draw a crowd. And what we're going to go through is the avatar series. So we'll get right into it. And holy mackerel, I'm looking at Deal Sauce right now, and there's already a new update that I wasn't even aware about. New icons, new features. So let's get right into it. How do you get the investor add-on? Chi. Am I saying that right? I would say we can go over, let me do it right here for you, Chi. Share my screen here. All right, so if you can check it out, right on the bottom here, there's an upgrade button. They have the AI zip code. So in your basic subscription, you guys know that you can pick a zip code. Every 30 days, you can change that zip code. I just want to be very clear. There's been some confusions. We're doing a FAQ on the main website, and we're going to get you guys more information. So some of these little questions that you should be able to just search for or be, I don't know, smacked in the face and be able to see them right away, right? I don't want you guys to have to email support every time. So you get one zip code in your backyard or wherever you choose to, one zip code. Cool. You can add multiple zip codes. I actually don't know what that looks like. AI zips. I believe they give you a whole plethora of them, but you can do, I think, a gang of zip codes if you so choose. And hey, listen, that's cool. Or you can do a county, state, nationwide, lean data, and then the residential investor bundle. That's where you would find that. Can we pay month to month? That's a really, really good question. And for the Gator Challenge, I know Pace is working on something super special for the Gators. And I don't know why I took the Gators. You guys must be the favored children out there, but I think they're doing something good for you guys. I don't have all the answers right now, but I do know they asked me and they said, listen, if, you know, what do the Gators actually want? If they were to have like the, I don't know, a la carte, right? Let's pick and choose what we want. I don't think you guys really care about landlords right now. And why pay for something if you're not going to use it, right? But then that's when you do more deals and then you can pay for more add-ons and like buy more tools in the tool belt. So I know they're actively working on a Gator package. I don't have any other, you know, information about that. I would say, I don't want to tell you to hold on, but I can tell you that the new, you know, the, what do you call it? The new Gator series, and he's doing a whole Gator, you know, challenge. There's going to be a lot more coming. What up, Eric? There's going to be a lot more coming. So I hope that answers some of the questions. We want you guys to be able to choose and pick and choose what you have and what you have access to. And what I'm talking about is this. So we're talking about the residential investor leads bundle. I'm actually trying to bring the commercial investor leads bundle to the forefront as well. I haven't even played with that yet. So I'm super excited for that one. There's a lot of cool stuff that is coming. Little things like this, even like we're changing the words to some of these in the look. But guys, before there was another drop-down menu above here, this is consolidated on the left-hand side. Just we're always tweaking, always working on something. So where do we find and what are we talking about? Chi asked. Let's go into it right now. So we're going to go into the residential, we're going to go into the find, fix, and flippers tab, but really it's the residential investor bundle. And that's where we're going to get some of the bonus features. They're add-ons, but it's the find, fix, and flippers. It's landlords, note holders, and private money lenders. This is the silver platter service. That's what I call it. And it's all the hard work done for you. And of course, you still have work to do. And what we're trying to do is facilitate you guys getting in front of. So, hey, I have money to lend. Hey, I have deals. All right. Who typically buys a discounted property? A fix and flipper, right? So, how do we get those fix and flippers? We show you. Search the market. There you go. And then you go do the outreach. So then finding private money lenders. No, the work's not. We're not getting you in front of them. We're not marrying you to, and they're not going to give their wallet to you. Eric Irvine and my homie in the side chat already knows this. There's a lot of outreach to do, but that's the nature of this game, right? And I don't think anyone's going to give you money by just emailing them, but you can facilitate a conversation. We're going to give you everything you need to do. We're going to save you hours of time, because here's the deal. This takes a while if you were going to do this grassroots. And that's why it's an additional add-on. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes on that. And I'll just show you, for instance, let's say we are going to go find organically, and you can do anything in here organically, and you can do it yourself. It just takes a little bit longer. So how about this? Let's go into, I don't know what market we want to go. Let's go with Durham, North Carolina. I haven't prepped any of this. So we're going to bring up general search, 91,000 residential addresses coming up. Okay, and just Durham, North Carolina. Hey, we want to find fix and flippers. So what are we going to do? We can use this. We can go cash buyers, right? Who has purchased a home cash? We can go flipped properties. All right, we could try that one. Let's go for that. We're going to go get rid of condos. We'll get rid of townhomes. Let's see what the score. All right, 9,800. Let's see if cash buyers also. Now, the more things we add, the less it will go. All right, so 2,200, perfect. Let's look for something with some photos. And sometimes we might get older stuff that has the flipped. Holy moly, this one's got some issues. This might be an investor. He's got some properties, residential investments, 15 of them, one commercial. We'll keep going. So there was seller, was Pegasus, land, the buyer, lender. Look at this. All right, this is luck of the draw. I will tell you that. If you guys just saw, I flipped it, just scrolled down and stopped anywhere. But this person could be a lender, right? You got someone who's lending that has a personal name. Now, of course, a lot of the folks are going to be hard money lenders, and they might lend under their LLC or a trust, such as some of these folks. So you could then maybe reverse search this and just do a Google search. Let's do this. And guys, I didn't prep for this. I'm just going to show you. So this is Sierra Structures. I don't know if this is the gentleman. There's a lawsuit there. This person, General Electric, PA, he's age is 79. I don't know if that's him, but he's got a LinkedIn, right? This gentleman right here could be, Durham, North Carolina. So that's pretty cool. So we just searched. I just showed you guys organically how to do this. Now, this isn't typically that easy, because we're also going to give you the address and all the things for these people. But what we're doing is we went under flipped and cash buyers, and we're trying to find, maybe a private money lender. Now, I don't know how many deals this gentleman has lent on. Those are the things that Deal Sauce will give you. Those are the other things that you're paying additionally for, because it's a click of a button. And you get Kenneth, and you get his portfolio, his address, maybe some investments, some notes, some flips, if he owns other properties or not. But we did a grassroots approach to this, because there was, I want to show you all the sides of it, because I don't want everyone spending money if they don't have to. I think upgrading your tools, like I buy tools in my tool belt, is essential, but it's not, you don't have to start there. So we just did Kenneth. I did a quick Google search. Now he is a lender that shows a name. Now here's the other thing. I want to give you guys a little bit of a free secret here. Kenneth could be a lender, meaning he could be seller financing a home, and that could be all it was. I don't know if he's a lender. Now it says, I can go into his LinkedIn. I don't have LinkedIn personally, but he's got Sierra Structures. See, I don't have LinkedIn, so I'm already behind the 8 ball on that one. So, and I know that's like Instagram these days. Project manager, hands-on, veteran-owned business. He could be a builder. He could have bought an asset. He could have had his personal house. He could have seller financed something, but it looks like he was a lender on this, so I don't know. Now, if you saw Kenneth's name, just to give you guys a little bit deeper. If you saw Kenneth's name on the seller side, clearly he's seller financing. That's pretty awesome. I would then pick up the phone and say, hey, Kenneth, whether you're a buyer or not, and I want you Gators to listen to this, whether you're a buyer or not, if you're on the phone asking for money and or if they're lending or if they want to be a buyer or a seller, whatever, you want to ask if they have any other properties. Think about this. You might not be buying. You might be fully head immersed in raising capital. You need to then pick your head up and you need to think about the other series of questions. Because if there's a no on the, hey, I'm not lending to anybody I don't know, or I have no more capital, or that was only, hey, the deal over in Durham, that was 1608 Merrick. Yeah, that was like a family property, whatever. But I do have this other asset, or I was thinking about selling, I don't know, a piece of land. And they open up the door for that because you might not be the buyer, but someone else might be. And there you go. There's another opportunity. You can wedge yourself in, wholesale, do all the things. So pretty powerful stuff. And that's what most folks sit there and they're like, all right, it's one-dimensional, two-dimensional product. It's not. You have to look at this with 4D, look in, left, right, center, up, down, and just prosper and just maximize all your opportunities in here. So we had Kenneth, that was a luck of the draw. Now you might get other ones where it's not, they went through a traditional hard money lender. So Eric is saying that he had the exact conversation with someone yesterday. Always ask what else they have. That's right. And listen, you might shake 50 doors, shit 50 trees, but one of them are going to say, hey, you know what? And I know this for a fact. I can tell you another story after this. But that's when they'll go, hey, oh, my friend or my aunt or my father or my mother, they're selling a property. And then just open up the door for that. The other thing is we just bought a property up in my neck of the woods in New Hampshire. And I may have said this before, but I was at the seller appointment meeting the homeowner. We're already going to do this creative deal. And he's like, hey, just so you know, across the street, they come up. I see them once a year come up to this house. And I look at it, it's distressed. But what it ended up turning out to be was the gentleman's father built that house. It was a lake house. And the gentleman grew up there with his father and his parents. They had since passed. He has just checked on it once a year. So a seller told me about that. I then wrote a letter to that gentleman. I looked him up on Deal Sauce, found his address, his name and address, wrote a letter. He called me. He's like, I got your letter and my tax bill at the same time. I'd like to sell my house. We're buying his house. So guys, you have to think about the opportunities in front of you. Take that extra step. So I don't want to preach, but I want to make sure you guys are astute at what their opportunity. I didn't go pay a VA. I didn't go pay a PPL, pay PC. I didn't pay for a lead. I took one deal and one opportunity and I prospered to the next. Again, I'm not a brag, not a boast. Proof in the pudding that this does work. I just want to show you guys that. All right. So Chi-Chi, I hope that helped. And Eric, that was pretty random that I found that one seller finance deal. But I mean, I guess we're in flipped properties and cash buyers, so it would make sense. Let's see what this one's all about. Again, another one. Holy moly, there's a lot of people that got some deals here. 5 investments, 1 commercial, multifamily, buyer. See, this gentleman has SunTrust. Oh, someone had SunTrust, Central Carolina Bank. Look at this. Seller was JM Martinez Construction. $10,000. All right, so that one's a dud. I don't really see anything there. There could be something, but we're just going to keep flying. And I just want to show you guys organic. If you're tuning in right now, we're asking and looking for organic ways of finding private money lenders. Also, people that might have opportunities. So we're going to do luck of the draw down here. We'll go all the way at the bottom. Buyer. All right, this person at some point was a lender, Isaiah. Again, if you went back to 07, sure, that's a little bit, it's almost 20 years. Might be a little far back, but you can also go backwards a couple of years. And if you see a private money lender, look them up, save their name, do some research. And that comes down to, so then, all right, you saw that what's required of that. Let's go back again, really briefly, to Durham, and let's go raise private capital. All right. That's a great example. Durham, North Carolina. So I went into the fix and flip territory, the fixed and flip section of Deal Sauce. Again, it is additional above and beyond. I want to be very clear with that. It's a different tier package. They are working on additional tier structure potential. That is not written in stone. Please do not reach out to support and say, Justin said this. I just want to let you guys know that we are working actively to try to, I guess, make this more readily available, because I want people to be able to do this investing. So right away, it says, what are we under? We're under flipped properties. Open Door, of course, Lennar Homes, Zillow, NVR, Open Door. They're the prestige. They're the top dogs. They should be at the top, and rightfully so. So let's go down. We have 813 fix and flippers technically in this market. And let's go down to filter. Number of properties flipped. Let's say there's a minimum of 3 with a maximum of 7. I don't know. 71 of them. Plenty. So I want to get rid of those Open Doors. I want to get rid of Lennar. I want to get rid of the big dogs, because I'm not calling them asking for money. Now, you can probably look at their deals. Oh, that's pretty good. I didn't think of that one. You can look at their opportunities, their transactions, and then look and see who sold them the deal. Guarantee you a good chunk of them are going to be wholesalers. Now, that's reverse engineering. Wholesalers is a different category because they're elusive, right? Come and go, do a couple deals. Some big ones, you're going to see a lot of their names, but we're working actively to find that. But there's other ways of getting your wholesalers. But yeah, look at the sold side of those ones. That would be able to get you in the right direction looking for wholesalers. How do I get opportunities? Maybe they have buyers. Maybe they can help me dispose some deals. Okay. So Open Door again, because they probably have another LLC or some other. Yeah, that's an Open Door Property Trust. Might not even be the right people. Mastery Flips. Don't we know that name? So we have this person, some other assets outside of Durham, but you're going to bring up some of the Durham stuff. And there's an address. And again, it gives you, they're a landlord and they're a flipper. Okay. It doesn't get much easier than that. We gave a whole profile and we're doing all the hard work. We're not going to go weed through all those properties. So just so you guys know, click of a few buttons, you'll get in front of these. And then it's up to you to do some deeper research. But let's go to the next page. Durham Investment Group. That sounds pretty good. They may have a pool of capital. Unless it was, I wish it said investment club. All right. Last one we will do. It's a lot of big dogs. We'll do this dude. Toledo Builders. So we can go to their portfolio. Let's go take a look. Now, we didn't go to the private money lending yet. That's what we were talking about earlier. We stumbled on this, but let's do that right now while we wait. I'm going to simply take this, went back to the filters. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of the flipper. I'm going to go right to private money lender. See what happens. 135. Boom. So Robert McDuffie, we're coming after you, dog. You got 17 lends or deals funded. Our total amount funded was 3.4 million. Average deal is a $200,000 deal. That's pretty awesome, right? We'll give you that ad. So if you're asking for $1 million from this dude, well, he's done 17 deals at 3.5 million. He might not be your dude. He's like maybe Gap Fund or something, Gap Lending, or he's doing just smaller deals. So I hope this is fruitful for you guys to see the dynamic between going out, getting this information yourself, and then vice versa, going, click up a few buttons. So then you can come in here and say, now this person owns a lot of different, oh, these are all apartments. So it must be apartment building. Let's check it out. You will run into some weird family dynamics or some quick claim deeds and whatnot, but just keep going. So yeah, he's the lender, Robert McDuffie. And he may have done this builder of construction loans. So he gave a $200,000 loan. I can't tell you that the 6.7% interest rate, guys, sometimes what you're going to get, I'm just being very transparent here, is that you don't know the note. Now, folks of you that out there have not really borrowed too much money or have done any too many lending docs, the note is sometimes it's not a recorded document all the time. So you might be able to see a mortgage, you might be able to see, who it was, who lent, who bought, some of the logistics of that. But as far as the interest rate, the payment, all those things, most times you're not going to see that. However, how we calculate that is the timeline. Now, sometimes we will get some information and we'll display it. Often, you're going to see it out in the, out in the any conventional loan on here. It's going to be the time frame. So let's say that he recorded this on 10/14/2022. Well, the estimated interest rate for that type of loan may have been in that 6.7%, time of the ballpark of the Fed and the rate, all that calculated, and we give a formula. So usually it's pretty spot on, but some of these construction loans, it could be the 1.3 year term. All right. So it's probably 15% for all we know, but we don't know that. So anyway, the point of the story is you don't care about what he lent out at the terms. Who gives it? It's not your terms. What you're trying to get is Robert McDuffie. Let's get his information. So I went a little deeper there, but all right. Chi-Chi opened up the can of worms this morning. So thank Chi-Chi for showing both sides of deal sauce on the investor bundle, being able to quickly get to the result or organically going to search it yourself. All right. Eric, we got a couple little changes up here. I'm sure you saw. And on Tuesday, I want you guys all to tune in. Let's go back here. Oh, I have probably too many tabs open. Doesn't know where I am. Too many tabs, guys. That's the other thing is sometimes when you're going to be into different areas and different searches, you're going to confuse the system. It's not going to know where you are. So, all right. So then we're going to go into the avatar guide again. Really briefly, on Tuesday, tune in around 2:00 East Coast time. We're going to go through some of these avatar series. We're going to go bring guests in. We're going to have conversations. It might even be a 3-hour Zoom. So tune in, tune out. We're going to go in depth. I want to bring in other people. I want to show how to use some of these avatars and how to identify with them in your life, in your business, in your investing career, and how to prosper inside of Deal Sauce and how to use it to your competitive advantage. And we're going to go through all things. And then subsequently, that's going to be a training between June and July. So we're going to have 4 recordings, 4 sessions, 4 webinars, and 2 of them are going to be, one's going to be in June on the first 5 avatars, another one in July and the other 5 to 10 avatars. And in between those other 2 Zooms that are in June and July, we're going to give you guys some additional things, some of the dope features that were coming out. AI is coming. We're going to have a sidekick, essentially an AI in here that's, the name TBD, but I'm going to also let you guys know that it's going to be pretty awesome where it's essentially like a chat GPT along with you in this journey and inside of Deal Sauce. And it's just a version 1. It's going to get so much better, right? As the AI technology gets better, we will then test it, put it out. You guys will get it. Underwriting, the days of spreadsheets. I don't really use a spreadsheet anymore. Eric and I are underwriting a couple deals and it's not really about the spreadsheets. It's about AI and how you can quickly get, hey, here's all these prompts. This is what we want for prompts. Here's our debt. Here's what the purchase price is. Here's the construction cost per unit. All right, I'm going to build 25 of these units. Here's the purchase price of the asset. Here's the city taxes. I want to put 10%, buffer. And let's do this. And we want to put maybe a 10% buffer on there for overages or contingencies on construction. Hey, we want to put our hard money in there at 10%, 11%, 24 months, 18 months. Guys, it's so quick. And then what you do is you just retype that prompt in and it spits all the data back out to you. So very fruitful. All right. So let's do the next one here. Guys, pipe in. I got Instagram up and we have, hey, that's not even catching up. What's going on here? All right. And then go in the side chat if you want to type in anything for questions, guys. Let's hit it. All right, so the latest search. We'll go into the commercial. Hey, Eric, I'm trying to get the commercial investor bundle. Very excited to see what that looks like. Just so you know, we'll check that data out. So we're going to go in the backyard. I'm going to go right up to New Hampshire. So we're looking right now. Actually, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys what I just received. I believe it's on my computer right here. I was debating on whether I want to show this or I can just Google it. Now, I don't buy Massachusetts all the time. I come from there, but I don't necessarily love their politics. So let's go with Mass MBTA 15 unit, 1 acre rule. Another homie of mine, his name's Kevin. He's an electrician. He worked for this is the, what is it? Massachusetts Bay Transit Authority. All right. Now we're the Bay State, or they were the Bay State. So there's a new ruling in here that around the subway, just think of a subway station or a transit station, public transportation within a certain area. If you have a 1 acre parcel, they're automatically streamlining you to a 15 unit building so they can accommodate more transit travelers and more density allowance. Really, really powerful if you've been following the zoning. If you're looking at certain areas and if you're not maximizing these deals that you're finding, listen, the days of, hey, this deal's too expensive, I can't cash flow this, it doesn't make sense as a flip, this person's upside down, I need a short sale. Not necessarily. That same opportunity now, look through a different lens. This could be now a 15 unit build. It could be $1 million value for some developer. 15 units is a lot of units inside of a 1 acre. So that's the cool part of this. So I just want to show you guys, that is some of these are the things that we're staying abreast to and staying in front of, because these are where this is the new wave. We're trying to stay ahead of this little wave that we have, because I don't know, Eric, you've used the term blue ocean before. I think that is somewhat of a blue ocean where 99.9% of people aren't going to be taking these opportunities. So let's go look and just reverse this back to Massachusetts, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Now, I bet you at one point we'll have AI and say, hey, AI, tell me all the MBTA stations, transit stations inside of Massachusetts or San Francisco or wherever you might have public transportation. Give me that search criteria. Well, I'm going to tell you just by guesstimate, right? There are some of these transits that come from Boston. They come this way, they go west, they go south. Let's just hypothetically say that we're going to follow this corridor. I bet you we can find one here, because I used to take it down here. Looking for a rail, guys. So we'll go down to Quincy. Charlestown. Go up here a little bit. Promise I'll show you. Malden Highlands. At Oak Grove, that's an area. That's a T station. Oh, right here. See how it says the little T? That's what we call it. Right here, Oak Grove. So that's a transit station. That's a T line. So this is the T line right here. Again, I'm showing you guys other opportunities. These are all train tracks. So if you are within a certain distance in this area, for instance, and that's all the stations throughout that whole system. So let's just say we're going to search this whole area. We're going down to this street, down to here, Oak Grove, up to here. That's probably a good walking distance. So we can do something like, I want to find land, just for in case. All right, so there's no land potentially available, which doesn't surprise me. But what we could do is delinquent tax activity. And now I'm in the commercial area right now, guys. We should go into residential. We can do active listings for upside down. There were 3 upside down with a tax delinquent. There's 10 right now that are upside down. Let's see this person. Flipped, delinquent, upside down, utility lien, multifamily. The lender. Hey, you got a lender out of this too. Is that John Virus? Interesting. So whether or not this actually is fruitful, like this is an old multifamily building. You already got multifamily. And I don't know if it's an acre. We could do the acre search too, which is pretty hard to find. But that's why you go a little bit. Yeah, this is a 6,000 square. So I don't know, a little small. But I think you guys understand what you're trying to accomplish here is doing that quick search. Now I want to do this for real. Now here's the other thing too. They also do water. And they do a lot of transit from the airport. So again, you can replicate this wherever you are. Again, this is just tuning into your local politics. I don't love politics. I don't follow them. However, I have been recently because of the opportunities that are prospering. So here's the thing, guys, this pressure tank in the country is bursting. It's I've been seeing this all on Instagram and on social media, and because it's all real estate related, it just feeds me too sometimes. And I'm not a really big content intake. I love just some of the things that I just like seeing caters to me, but I'm also looking for information. And it shows up. I see what's going down is, they'll pass a bill or there's a new bill ready to be passed. And I want to follow that up. So you got to stay aware of where you are in this pressure tank. Now we have a lot of supply. I've been seeing, oh, across the country, we have more supply than demand. Well, that's because it's affordability. Now, if you come across creative finance deals, other opportunities, this is a way to maximize those values. Once maybe this one right here on Greystone, the red house was not prosperous. It was not great. But if you add an ADU in this little woods right here, what's an ADU? An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. Has a bunch of names across the country. End of the day, think of a tiny home on the lot, tie it into the sewer of the house. Doesn't matter. Put the electric to it, build it, buy a tiny home and drop it on maybe a concrete slab. There's a lot of ways of doing this. But what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of things that are opening up that once were not open. And so for here, it's dynamite opportunities. And you just got to be ready for them. So let's do this again. I bet you there's an area up here. It's in Haverhill. One would call it Haverhill. Right here. It's right by the water. I just saw the T right here. Right here. Commuter station. This is a dense city. I know I can go along this whole river here. Now, I don't think you're going to get much land. Again, you could, maybe an infill lot. I don't know if you're going to get an acre. But we're in the commercial side of things. We got to do this in the residential. And I want to see other people have questions with in their markets too, right? I'm talking about the Northeast, but there's still issues everywhere in this country, and they're changing these laws. I heard a good podcast the other day on the Ken McElroy show, and he had a woman I was going to bring it on here, and I still might. April Mass. She does all the zoning. She came from zoning inside of Connecticut, and right now she's in Arizona. And they're now they're sweeping the country. They're taking all those zoning laws, they're understanding them, and they're just trying to implement different practices. And for one is, man, it's boring for some, but this is really interesting for others, is a lot of things that hamper your ability to do things and maximize a value or build on a property is parking. They require this antiquated, and they attribute it to the traditional family. Oh, you're going to have 2 cars, the kids, and we need enough room for all the cars and all the vehicles. But now, let's look at this. If you're down here in this Massachusetts town of Haverhill City, you're in this commuter district. You have 1 car per family. if that. And they want to promote that. And they said, you know, we don't want to regulate them. We don't want to tell someone else or a builder what they can and cannot do. If someone doesn't want to buy his house or live in his apartment building because it has one parking spot per unit, so be it. That's the builder's problem. It shouldn't be the city governing it. And I love that. So again, a little too much information, but I want you guys to see that it's just different aspects of this business and different perspectives. So we're going to be in this market here. Oh, I accidentally hit my search. All right, we should organically do it then. Single family. Filter for low equity. Sure thing. We'll go single family and we'll go land. Let's see what happens. 124. Let's see what low equity looks like. I may need to reset these filters because I'm afraid that I had my filter on here. So this looks like it could be some land. It says we could go by acreage. Another ruling also, commercial buildings, cool one that came through. Commercial, more flexible to be converted to residential fast. Commercial's dead. Well, kind of was. I came from that side of the business, downtown Boston. Commercial took a punishing hit, all right? And across the country, a lot of the high rises and a lot of these other buildings in Boston are converting to residential. So there are other rules in place that they're making that streamlined. So that's the other thing. You guys are looking at some commercial development, commercial deals. You know, that flower shop, that one time, I don't know. We just had a bank in our area that I missed shut down. It was a TD bank, nationwide bank, Canadian too, I think, or was part of Canada. They sold their bank, their branch. We were going to turn it into like 20 units. I missed the boat. Guys, those are opportunities to find. So let's just keep here. We want to find low equity. We could do a whole different search. But at the end of the day, I want you guys just to understand what we're doing here. All of this can be converted. Yeah, that right here, this little garage. If it's not already a little dwelling unit, that's a perfect little ADU. Let's say this came on right now and it was 445. Someone had a creative deal. So let's hypothetically say that this is a creative deal. You know, they bought it for 445, 23. They got a 720 interest rate. That's pretty high. But you're like, man, this thing doesn't, the PITI, the payment on it's $3,000 a month. The rent is probably $3,000 a month for that house. How do I maximize that? Or how do I house hack it? Oh yeah, and it still needs updating. It's got grandma's kitchen in it. So I'm going to buy it, entry fee, still pay $3,000. I got to get it so I can rent it for $3,500. I need to put 25,000 into it. Shucks. What am I going to do? Well, now you've made yourself potentially a two family on the fly. No regulations, bypass it, streamline it, turn that garage into another unit. Maybe you live in that house, hack it, do the rest, give another family the other house. So a lot of cool opportunities. Just keep looking at them that way. So I just want to show you guys a perspective. So, all right. I do actually want to go look for commercial deals where we were leading to. I want to show someone that they can get them in anywhere. Let's go to Texas. How about, give me a place in Texas. Best filter for low equity. That's right. Love it. Give me somewhere to go. Let's go pick the map. I'll show you some other features. How about this? We'll do the heat map. AI signal by county. Now this is going to give us a overview by county on some of the best counties in America. And it's going to give you some of the price points. We're not going to Mexico. Damn dog. So we're going to stay out of there. Do a little Texas here. You know what? I wanted to do something on the coast. Is Galveston good? Let's take a look. Probably gets murdered by hurricanes. So insurance, I hear, is pretty gnarly. Houston, Bay City, average flip delta 11,000. Average flip delta is 107,000. Not really flipping, but you can see, all right, Chambers. They have 378 flips. 289,000 is the delta. Now, guys, there's probably materials in there. Let's go into this Chambers. It should be Chambers County, Texas. I'm going to turn off this Signal AI. All right. Now where were we in commercial? I want to do expireds. That's where we just found some opportunities ourselves. I don't care about individual. I don't care about business right now. Now, if you're going to go after mom and pops, I do love individuals. I typically stay away from the business owners. Now, you could also, don't use my judgment on that. We're going to go to listing. We're going to go to expired. Let's go backwards all the way to December. Let's go to December 1, 2024 to current day. Today is June 5th. Fayetteville, Georgia, what up? All right, so we are now looking at, go back out of Chambers County. So we're in commercial. Now, what do we want to find? What type of asset class do we want to look for? We have 14 expireds, so maybe it's a smaller county. We can back this up a little bit more. I brought it back out let's go to September. Since it's commercial, things do sit longer, so things do take, there's a little bit of a tide, but this isn't a big search. No, I don't want to change that too much. Let's go to asset class. Square footage we can do. That's the typical thing. I think I went through it last week. I want to show you guys. Let's see if there's anything at a minimum of 10,000 square feet. Yeah, see, we're in a smaller market, so we'll just go any. Let's see what we have for results here. This is a farm and a ranch. So, so someone had an opportunity here that they may have either, I don't know, maybe it was decimated. Characteristic. But look, they have other investments. Balloon. Let's see the listing. It expired September 23. So that's old. You can give it a call. We'll see what they're doing. Let's keep going. How about this? We'll just do this. Polygon. That was too slow for me. All right, now we're cooking. 151. Expireds commercial. Let's see if we can do general. Let's see what comes up there. 28. So guys, I'll thumb through some of these because most of them are going to have photos. And again, in my market, I do things a little bit differently. Texas, I don't even know, but we can find deals anywhere. We can look at and just thumb through them. This looks like a piece of land. More land. But I might see a multifamily. I might see something or an old property that no longer is being served. It's best and highest use. And let's say that they put in it, now use your market, interchangeable. And this doesn't look great. I thought it was maybe this building right here. But we want to look for opportunities. I'm in the housing game. So others are in the mobile home park, self-storage, all those great things. But for me, I'm looking for multifamily. Damn, that's some storage. All right, so 335 in April 01. This status changed to expired in April 1st. Great investment. Port Boulevard storage situated in south side of Boulevard Peninsula. We can see that it looks like it might be free and clear. So guys, I mean, how about this? I don't know if anyone's doing the storage game down there, but you don't have to be the storage person. Now, 335 for 1, 2, that's 8, 9 units, 10 units. Is that 5 and 5? Well, it says with 21 storage units on half an acre land. I don't know what that dollar amount is, right? We have to underwrite it. That's your game. It seems pretty small, but here's the deal. You don't have to be the buyer for it. You just need to see if they're willing to do something creative, maybe sell that business. Then you find the right person for it. You know, if I was getting in the game, you're cutting your teeth on a 10 unit like that. And maybe there's room to build more and just read the listings. But there's tons and tons of opportunities in here. And I do like the expireds. What up, Scott? Good to see you, dog. Scott, let me know if there's something you want to see. I'm doing something here that we just did in our market, but I just wanted to go in a random market and looking for expired listings. So we just put an offering out yesterday and we're going back and forth on a mill building. Now the agent is not doing their job. The seller's in trouble. They won't, I'm having agent problems at the end of the day though, but there's an opportunity that we want to buy. And it's all expired. There you go. Damn, you know what I'm seeing right now? I'm looking at this and seeing who owns those signs. Are those freeway signs? I'm paying right now for a sign too much money for a rented sign for my business. And that would pay a mortgage. Just a rental for one of the sign that's probably that big. So if these two come with this property, that could be your income right there. So those are also green opportunities. Right on the freeway, right at an exit. Again, I don't know. But this is all you got to look at, $60,000. Man, if those signs brought you 500 each a piece a month, or I don't even care if it's $400 a month. That right there, I would, just like this person did, probably set it and forget it, left that place to be abandoned, didn't care about it, but they're getting us maybe the revenue from the signs if they own them. But again, another way of thinking things, just like I talked about the transit authority and being around a public station, transportation station, and you get different zoning and different regulations, thinking outside the box. All right, so let's keep going here. I want to find commercial bays. Those are good. What's this place? Looks like a little church, maybe? Medical supplies. Can we turn this thing into housing? So let's look at the zoning. It probably tells us the zoning. Oh, this one's blank in Texas. So that's an easy find though. Yeah, Port Arthur. So what I would do, guys, I would look up this address. If you're in the housing game, it's 4,800 square foot. That's considerable amount for many units. Then you get a building like this. It expired for $275,000 in February. Don't call the agent unless you can't get a hold of somebody. Maybe you can then ask, but use your own discretion. Special warranty deed. 23. So this person bought it or took it over for potentially $92,000. Notice of foreclosure sale. So they got it at a discount and maybe they're just trying to flip it for 275. You got a defunct building sitting there vacant. Tons of opportunities. Takes the right one. This is what we're looking at in our market. So just for instance, so I would look at this, I would look at the zoning. I would say in most areas now, we're going to say commercial, cool. There's residential right here. This was a medical supply place, like a ball field right there. Probably a great little neighborhood to outside the city that now maybe it's low, maybe it's a co-living house. You got the parking lot for it. That's probably what I would do. And here's the deal. You don't have to do any amenities because your amenities are surrounding that property. I'm making this up, but this is just what I'm seeing from my professional view is you got a ballpark here. I can see a basketball court right next door. I'm willing to bet there's other features and there's probably a school nearby. There's another stadium down here. So at the end of the day, you have a co-living property here or a sober living house or a senior care facility. You either called, you got that seller to do seller finance, or you do some sort of financing creatively. And it doesn't have to be creative. It can just be a discounted cash price, cash offer. You have that, the value of that potentially. And maybe you say, hey, would you take, maybe he just wants out and he wants 100 grand, paid 90 for it. He wants 100 grand. I don't know. You mark it up for 150 grand. Sell it to someone who's doing that business. 100% you put another, be $250,000 into it. Divide the rooms. Maybe that's too much. Put AC in all the rooms, divide it up, got a nice parking lot, put a couple shared kitchens or a large kitchen in there. You got yourself a co-living facility. Maybe it's got 15 rooms. Guys, that's a cash flowing monster right there. All for under $500,000. Kidding me? So you got to look at these opportunities and then you just got to understand that you can look at them in a different lens. So I think that's the nature of today's YouTube. And today's live is just looking things at a different lens because these opportunities are all around us. Now, I don't expect anyone who's coming out, off that screen as green to understand all these nuances. However, I would keep going back to one of the stories that we're, trying to purchase an asset right now. It's a motel. All it took was someone driving by that just realized I drive by this too much. And I don't see what's going on. Nothing's going on here. Let me just call that seller. We call the owner and me ask him what's going on. And that's all it took was 2 phone calls. And this gentleman has a contract. We're buying that asset. It was 2 phone calls. Him understanding that he drove by something that was not being used and he saw it. He's like, I think I can make money with this. And sure enough, he will. So that's all this is. And I'm seeing here. And then who knows? It's not on the market again. What's the seller going to do with it? All right. Well, if you guys are good with what up, Rudy? If you guys are good with any other questions, any other concerns, anything you want to see, please reach out. Let me know now, but we're going to take this one home. We just did some commercial expired listings. You guys can do this inside of Deal Sauce on your own. Go anywhere in the country. I just went down to like Galveston, Texas and did a little search. I'll show you exactly what I was doing just to wrap this up. Just because I know I can see a little bit better. You guys had some boring stuff down there. Good to see you, dog. Hope you guys are doing good. All right. Rudy's up in New Hampshire. So we're going to do this. We're going to go into the commercial sector. General expired. We don't have to do general. We can just cancel that. And what I can do is we have 241. For once, New England had more than Texas. All right. We're going to go by square footage. Let's go 10,000 square feet or more. 21. Now, maybe I've already used this one before, but I saw this dude. This is a whole building. I can't believe it was for 250 grand in Pittsfield. Now, Pittsfield is a smaller town. It would take the certain vision. I'd love this building, but it would take a certain vision, a certain amount of capital, and a certain commitment to understand that. What up, Chris? It would take a certain commitment to understand that you can make money with this. But I mean, $250 is practically free, but it's calling this up and seeing what's going on. That's all I'm showing you guys is how to take the action. Chris, get us what up? We were just in Texas, so I just went back to New Hampshire where we know there's a little bit more substance. And we're in the expired listings commercial, and we're just thumbing through opportunities, looking at the photos, and you can look at different things. This says motel, hotel. 24 acres, 6 stories, 1 unit. What's going on here? It must just be a condo. Lincoln's one of the hottest markets right now in New England. Yeah, it's a condo. It's one of the hottest markets. I wonder if that could be a sub-2 deal. Ooh, interesting. Something's going on here. This might be an outlier that just randomly fell in here. This is a big ski town, big touristy town. Looks like a condo. He saw motel and got excited. That's right, dog. But I want to show people Chris and guys. I'm going to try to bring Chris, and you're going to see a lot of Chris and his partners and his friends and his collaborators inside of some of these deal sauce Zooms as well. So even Tuesday. So like I said, what up, Gordon? I want to see you guys on Tuesday. There's going to be, like I said, the webinar, and we're going to go into the avatar series, and we're going to go through different avatars. I want to bring guests on. I want to bring people in who are using deal sauce, who are also investors, finding different strategies. So we can go from like direct to seller. Maybe we're going to go direct to agent, right? If you're good at direct to seller, yeah, I'll do this. Gordon, so you can see my gray beard. I'm turning into you now, dog. Getting old. So we are going to go into all these different strategies for the avatar series. So again, direct to seller. That's sort of me, right? The visionary direct to seller, the fishing aspect of things. But then you can have someone like, I know Chris and his team will go direct to agent. They do a bunch of stuff, but let's use it for example, direct to agent. I don't want to talk to agents necessarily, but that's their game. Low equity, maybe. How about the expireds? All of that. Cash buyers. We have unicorn agents. We need to bring some unicorn agents. What up? Good to see you, Gordon. And how about a bird dog? Who's bird dogging out there? So we're going to go through all those avatars. We're going to go through 5 of them next week, next Tuesday. So stay tuned. It should be around 2 p.m. East Coast time. And there'll be links for that. That's not on YouTube. It's going to be a webinar. So that's going to probably go through the deal sauce. So guys, appreciate you watching, checking it out. If you need deal sauce, go sign up, get the 2 free weeks. And there's more updates coming by the day. And we'll catch you in the next one. If you want to see something, stay in the YouTube channel, make a comment. If not, keep going. There's 70 videos in here, and make a comment. I'll see it. Someone will see it. Shell will see it. We'll put it on the list to make a video. I'll give you a reply right away. So thank you guys. And if you need support at dealsauce.com. No, support at dealsauce.io, I think. Confusing myself now. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.